This is exactly how we make $10,000 USD a day for our info product clients, for our portfolio clients, whatever you want to call it. And this is actually cash collected, right? Not revenue generated. Now, I'm not going to bore you guys with some long intro. We're just going to get straight into the value and how we actually go about doing this. So just for an example, I can show you guys a lot of examples, but this right here, as you can see, on December 22nd, 2025, we take mostly payments through fan bases as well as crypto. So that's how you guys see a 6K payment, 2.8, 1.8, 1.4. This totals up to be $12,000 USD in cash collected, right? Now, a lot more than 10K, but I'm just showing you guys what's actually possible when you actually dial in your offer and then start making YouTube videos around it. So before we get into the whole breakdown of how you guys can actually go about doing this for your own offer, I need you guys to understand why you might be stuck right now. So by far, the biggest reasons I see when we partner up with our clients or just looking in the market is unclear and messy positioning, having an overall just weak and undefined offer, inconsistent long form content, and no proper funnel that actually serves your ICP. And all of these things result in posting daily but not having any consistent sales for your offer, running ads when you don't need to, or just running ads that don't convert, sending a bunch of cold outbound DMs, or posting 50 reels a day. But most importantly, making anywhere from 15 to 30, maybe even 50K a month with your offer, but it's just not consistent and you're not hitting those 6-figure months and scaling beyond like you want to. Now, after working with multiple clients now that are making, 6 figures a month with their offers, the biggest psychological blockers that I've seen are just fear of actually niching down, because I see a lot of coaches and creators trying to target a lot of people. Shiny object syndrome, of course, and also just overall trying to appeal to everyone, because when you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. But the real problem is just the misalignment with your messaging and your content, having multiple offers, multiple ICPs, and tons of different mechanisms, essentially. And one limiting belief I need you guys to understand before we kind of dive into this video is that posting more is never going to fix a bad offer, a shit offer. Views don't matter if your audience doesn't actually want what you sell or they aren't willing to actually pay you for the information. Now, by far the biggest lie that creators are sold today is that you need millions of views to make 6 figures a month or multiple 6 figures a month with your offer. You need to be like Brez or TJR, when that is simply, not true at all. You don't need to go viral. You don't need more top of funnel, posting and flexing content, because for the most part, the reality is that lifestyle content is dead. People don't really care about that stuff, right? Maybe a few years ago, you could get away with not really giving away any value about what you do, whether it's like trading or e-com, just posting the lifestyle. But nowadays, unless you want to market to literal broke people who are going to charge back, not get good results, because think about how you're attracting them. You're attracting them with lifestyle content, flexing, penthouses, Lambos, people who are actually willing to pay you 5, 6, 7, 10, even 15 grand, for your info product. Trust me, they do not care about that kind of stuff. They care about actual value, and they're paying you for a transformation, so you can help them get from where they are now to their desired state. So what actually works now, with me saying that, is content that actually attracts high intent buyers, right? Not just fans, not just people that like your car or like what you do, your actual dream clients. And again, you don't need a big audience. You just need the right person, the right people to be watching your content, and someone you understand so well, you know exactly what to say, how to say it, and know what to say to actually make them buy. And just for proof, we've had multiple 5-figure days generated for our client. In specific, this client that I'm showing you right now has only 2.5K subs on YouTube and no viral videos at all. I think his most popular video on his channel is like 5K views or something like that. So again, all he has is a clear ICP, a real offer, and correct messaging, which we will all be covering here before we actually get into structuring your YouTube videos, because actually making the YouTube videos themselves is the easiest part, and it doesn't take that much skill. You just need to have all of these foundations set up before you go on and make your YouTube videos, which is what we're about to talk about right now. Now, again, when it comes to all of the foundation with your ICP, USP, unique mechanism, this, that, and the third, it's really custom dependent on your offer. So I can give all of the advice that I have just as like general information. But if you guys want actually something custom to your info product, to your program, make sure you guys book a call below so I can actually audit your entire coaching program, your info business, everything like that, and actually give you custom advice that's going to help you. But with that being said, most important part, we need to understand who we are actually selling our product to. And defining your ICP is actually their core pains, their desired outcomes, their buying triggers, and you should have a before and after grid list for your ICP, meaning what are their current pains, beliefs, behaviors versus your product essentially being the bridge, right? Once they buy your program, what is the desired outcome that they want, right? So what kind of identity do they want to have? What kind of milestones do they want to achieve? How are they actually going to feel once they get to that point? And this can be validated through market research, meaning sales calls, looking through your comments and DMs, common repeated phrases and questions. And a lot of red flags that I see are just your audience being too broad, optimizing for views over qualified calls, and just a bunch of super vague outcomes like, I help X people make 10K a month. Like, it doesn't work anymore. I know it sounds so obvious, but it's literally where everyone fails, right? Knowing your ICP sounds basic, but nobody actually does. You would be really surprised. So what you must know about your ICP, right? Their deepest fears. And every single time that we are identifying the ICP for our clients, we want to take the most surface level things we know, like, they don't want to work their job, they want to make X amount a month, and then we dig 5 to 10 layers deeper. And I'll get into this in a bit, but the whole point of this is like, we need to know literally everything so we know what makes them want to buy our program. Like I always say, you should literally know your ICP to a T. You should be able to wake up in the middle of the night and just spill everything out about your ICP. With that, their deepest fears, their deepest desires, what pain finally made them say, I actually need to make this change. Why they want your product specifically over another coach's or another program. How they believe your product will actually change their life. What objections actually are living in their head at this current moment, and what risk reversal they need to actually feel safe buying your program. So if you actually know this, selling it's a lot more easier, right? You don't need to convince, you don't need to chase anymore, you don't need to persuade, you don't need to have people hop on calls with you and have it be a literal war where you're objection handling, doing all these crazy reframes. Like, yes, you're still going to get objections, it's inevitable, but your whole objective is to have your sales call be a onboarding call, right? They have a few questions, maybe it's some logistics, they need a payment plan, whatever, but they shouldn't have all these crazy objections. This should be handled within your content, within your marketing on the front end, meaning you simply reflect their own thoughts back to them, right? So how you actually learn this is not by guessing and copying competitors in your niche. Again, it's done through sales calls, onboarding forms, real conversations with your audience, right? DMs, polls, questions, is actually gathering data from your leads. One thing that I like to do for all of my clients is literally run every single Typeform response, every single sales call, every single setting call through an AI, like whether it's GPT, Claude, Gemini, doesn't matter, but we literally want to have every single touch point with our audience stored in a database, so we know exactly how to market to them and exactly how to speak to them. Now, 3 is going to be developing your USP and unique mechanism once you actually have your ICP dialed in. And for those of you that do not know, your USP is a specific person that has a specific problem who wants to achieve a specific outcome in a specific timeline. And your unique mechanism is so important that not a lot of people talk about, but it's actually your name method within your business model or whatever you sell that actually drives results and separates you from the market, from the crowd. But again, the purpose is to create a unique selling proposition that pierces through all the market noise in your market right now, no matter what business model you're in, converts cold traffic and fuels on all downstream messaging, whether it's ads, VSLs, emails, you guys get the point. Phase 1 of developing your USP is going to be your mindset and the strategy. So you have to identify the stage of awareness of your audience, right? You cannot be a trading coach, right? Because we all know how many scammers, the skepticism inside the trading market, and talk to people like they're problem aware. Like, no, they clearly know they need help, but they're just super skeptical because they've seen all these people online who claim they make so much money from trading, but it's all from their course, right? So again, that's just one example, but you need to understand the sophistication and awareness of your market. So then, when you're marketing, you're in your VSL, your ads, your emails, whatever, the kind of tone of voice you need to use, if that makes sense. So are they more problem aware? Are they more solution aware? Or are they more product aware? Like, they've seen your funnel and content before, they just need they need that extra push to go and buy your program. 3 is the market sophistication. So, is your audience more sold by a bold promise? Are they just people who are working 9 to 5s that's seen an ad that says, hey, make 10K, 15K with Amazon FBA? Or are they more super sophisticated type A prospects who maybe been burned before? They need more, testimonials, more stories, more belief breaking concepts. So get super clear on that, because without those two things, you will never actually succeed with your info product / coaching program. 4 is the one clear avatar, which we've already covered, right? It's essentially just your ICP. So just getting deep on your avatar, and also get very clear on completely like their worst nightmare versus their dream scenario, their dream outcome. So boom, now we got that. Phase 2 is the building blocks of your direct USP. So every winning USP includes 5 core parts: avatar, outcome, mechanism, time frame, big emotional benefit, right? So for your avatar, you guys obviously could hear this a lot on social media, but it can be like, this is for coaches stuck under 30K a month. This is for traders, not profitable, stuck under 10K a month. You guys get the point. The desired outcome of where they want to be, the unique mechanism of like, okay, let's say you're an e-com, or let's say you help fitness coaches, or you help unprofitable traders. There's obviously tons of people in your market trying to sell the same leads, the same thing, right? So you actually have to come up with a unique mechanism that's going to make you stand out from everybody else. Time frame and urgency of how long it's actually going to take them to achieve set result, and also why it's important for them to take action now rather than waiting 3 or 6 months down the line. And the big emotional benefit of like, hey, what does life actually feel like for them once they get to XYZ? And then phase 3 is just a few formulas to follow. We usually use Hormozy style, but again, that doesn't really matter. The whole point is like, your USP is not your tagline. Meaning your USP is not just a clever line, it's a strategic claim that drives alignment across every single part of your business. So every single time they hear from you or see you in your content, ads, emails, everything is congruent. Everything makes sense, everything clicks, which will make a lot more sense here in just a few minutes. Here are just a few different examples of USPs you guys can kind of read over. But now let's talk about your unique mechanism. Now, your unique mechanism is so important. I cannot stress this enough. This is what's going to make your leads, your ICP, choose you over your competitors, right? So understand that when everyone is selling the same thing, no matter if you're in trading, fitness, e-com, every niche is essentially saturated if you think about it. Every single offer these days looks the same, sounds the same, and all these programs just sound the same. So you need to seriously think about yourself, your brand, your product. What do you do differently? Or how can you package it differently that's going to make you stand out from all your competitors? Now, my clients don't have to worry about this because, we take care of everything for them and obviously get the results they get. But if you're a coach, creator, you sell an info product, you really have to dive deep on this and actually establish a good, unique mechanism. I cannot stress that enough. But 4 is going to be congruent messaging. And you guys are probably watching this like, okay, we're like 10, 15 minutes in. Where's the whole, YouTube video part? Guys, that is the very last piece of the puzzle. Like, you guys need to have all of this mapped out before you can actually structure your YouTube videos, because you need to know what to say, obviously. So this is where your congruent messaging comes in. This is consistency across every single piece of content you put out that's actually going to build trust and conversion. So you need to understand that your messaging makes it very obvious of who you help, what you help that person achieve, and why you are the right person. Like I said, every touch point must say the same thing, right? That means that you are the bridge from where your ICP is now to where they want to be, and you must make that clear as day. So same USP, same unique mechanism, same core promise. Meaning, if you're a trading coach or you're a dropshipping coach and you sell a coaching program on helping people start dropshipping, or let's just use that as an example. If that's all you're talking about in your content, best believe when I click on your funnel, or the lead clicks on your funnel, that is what they better see when they see your headline, click on your VSL, go on your application. You guys get the point. Now 5, why you guys click on this video? The long form YouTube videos, I like to call them the YouTube money printers, because they print money for my clients, right? So why YouTube over Instagram, over TikTok, over all these different platforms? You guys need to understand that long form builds depth, authority, and pre-qualifies high intent, high ticket buyers. Now, usually for my clients, we like to do around 2 YouTube videos a week. If they're actually valuable enough and the videos are long enough, you can't even do 3 if you want, but we have 3 types of videos that we can make. That's going to be your top of funnel videos, your middle of funnel videos, and your bottom of funnel videos. I need you guys to drill this inside of your head that YouTube is the best platform. You must be going all in on YouTube right now. It is going to drive the highest quality traffic. Okay, it's going to filter out all the brokies, all the unserious people, all the tire kickers, right? And it's going to attract all of the mature buyers who have cash and are serious about putting in the work and getting good results for your program so that they can be testimonials and you can use this as leverage in your marketing to get more students. So again, it's just perfect for high ticket offers. YouTube converts way better, 1,000 times more than short form, because you can actually explain in context. You can tell full stories and stories sell. You can educate and persuade your audience, and you don't even need to go viral. You don't need millions of views like Instagram, which is unpredictable. So now that you have your ICP dialed in, your USP, your unique mechanism, and you have congruent messaging, now you can use the 3 content levers that we use for all of our clients. So 1 is going to be results and proof, 2 is going to be current trends, and 3 is going to be knowledge and explanation. So with results and proof, I want you guys to think about this like top of funnel. You need to be showcasing, like pretty much what is in the title, all of your proof, all of your results. You need to show yourself as an authority, right? So for example, if you're a trading or crypto guy or a creator, right? You want to be talking about, how this trading strategy, how this swing trading strategy made me X amount today, made me 13K today, maybe 12K today. Or your student testimonies, your client results, talking about how my student Jack went from being unprofitable to making, 15K a month with swing trading, let's say. But basically the whole point is you need to be showing the money made. You need to be showing that outcomes achieved by rather your students or you yourself, so that when someone watches your content, they know what you are capable of. They know who they're about to work with and what they can actually achieve. So usually this is going to bring in the most views for your videos because you're obviously talking about big numbers and big results. So that's number 1, more of like the top of funnel, results and proof. For ecom, it could be the same thing. Your ad strategy, a certain product that you found, but just tie that into some crazy result that you're getting right now or what you're able to generate by using your certain methods. Now 2 is going to be current trends, more middle of funnel. So you see a lot of guys in the crypto and trading space talking a lot about market news and market shifts, right? Because they're keeping everyone updated on what's going on right now. But again, this is so important because you're able to leverage the trendy stuff, the trendy things, and actually introduce yourself, your brand, what you do, how you can help people. That's why you'll see a lot of, it's like high ticket sales guys or organic dropshipping guys be like, high ticket sales is dying or organic dropshipping is dying, right? Because there's some kind of change in the market. But when someone is interested in that topic, in that business model, they're obviously going to click on that video. They're going to find out who this creator is. They're going to see he helps people, yada, yada, yada. You guys get the point. By far, my favorite one, and what we really dial in for our clients, and by the way, we script everything out for our clients, so they literally just have to open the camera, click record, right? Is going to be your bottom of funnel knowledge and explanation, which is going to build you as a massive authority and literally give your audience so much value to the point where they have no other option but booking a call with you, then opting into your funnel, right? And guys, do not hold back on these videos. This is you showing your strategies and showing what you guys do to achieve the results that you have within your business, whatever, right? Treat this like an actual course. Treat this like video modules where like people are seriously paying you for this information. Because again, people are going to pay you 5, 6, 7, 10K, not for information, but for direct implementation. Break down all of your strategies, all of your breakdowns, all of your step-by-step guides. Literally everything, all the value you could think of, you want to put into these videos for free. So if you're a trading guy, it could be a whole video of you breaking down your strategy. If you're in dropshipping, it could be a whole video of you finding a product, getting a supplier, running ads, complete like the whole process. If you sell an SMA offer, it could be, cold calling with the script. It could be, running ads for the client, scaling him. You guys get the point. It should be your entire methodology. And even if you guys don't have the craziest results yet, you can go very heavy on explanation, authority sharing, deep knowledge, because you guys have to understand that long form breakdowns still convert and expertise can substitute proof temporarily. Posting frequency around 1 to 3 YouTube videos per week. And you guys need a micro niche channel not a broad channel. A few videos doing 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K views can still produce 6 figures, even multi-6 figures a month. And you have to understand that YouTube is a long-term asset, meaning videos compound for months and for years, unlike Instagram where a video just spikes and then just gets lost forever. You need to understand that YouTube is a predictable revenue system. So that's how you package your ICP, your whole entire offer, USP into YouTube. Just for a brief overview, now that you know everything about your offer, number one is a more top of funnel where you're introducing people about what you do. Number two is going to be actually introducing your unique mechanism, showing you as an authority in the market. And number three is going to be you giving all the value you possibly can to your audience so they can actually achieve some good results just by watching your content. Okay, cool. Number six, again, this doesn't matter too much, but you need a funnel that's going to convert, right? Obviously, the flow of an info product sale is a lead watches your content or your ad. He hears a CTA, he goes to the funnel, which usually is a VSL, webinar, opt-in, fills an application, and gets a calendar link to book a call with you or your closer. And of course, they get nurtured on the back end with SMS blasts and emails with value, case studies, pre-handling objections, right? But again, I'm not gonna overcomplicate this. Your funnel's only job is to move a qualified lead onto a call with your sales team with the least amount of friction as possible. So common funnel types you'll see is like a book a call funnel, a webinar funnel, a DM funnel, a direct calendar link if your audience is like super warm. But again, the only rule to keep in mind is that your funnel must match the buyer, right? So your funnel is not just preference. It's not because like, oh, I want to have a VSL or I want to have a challenge funnel. Your funnel has to fit your demographic fit. Meaning if you're selling to more sophisticated buyers, right? Maybe you have some kind of investing offer, real estate investing offer, funding, whatever. These are usually going to be high income professionals, anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 years old that are probably at work all day or with their kids. They're not going to have time to attend a 4 or 5 day challenge funnel. So for someone like that, you probably want to have a VSL where they can just, book a call directly. But let's say you're selling more of a biz op to beginners, right? So maybe someone in high school or working a 9 to 5, right? They're anywhere from like 18 to 25. Maybe you're selling them on a drop shipping, TikTok shop, reselling offer. They obviously have more time, right? So that's something where you can run a webinar funnel, a challenge funnel, training-based funnel that are absolutely doing numbers right now. Other funnel types for audiences that are not just ready yet and need more nurturing can be free communities, low ticket to high ticket. You guys get the point. But again, all that actually matters is capturing your leads information and getting them on a call. And last but not least is the sales process. Now I can make a whole video about the sales process that actually started out in the info space as a sales rep, so I can pretty much talk all day about this. But if you guys want to understand the sales process more, feel free to check out my first ever video where I broke down a 30K cash call within 6 days for one of my clients, where we broke down the whole entire sales process. But it's very simple, right? No matter what funnel you have, just in a simple overview, you want to have an application that filters for fit and budget. Mostly budget. The most common objections you're gonna get no matter what your offer is money, trust, fear, timing, skepticism, etc. You must have emails for whatever funnel you're running to actually nurture all of your leads, have a post-call booking flow with as many sales assets as possible. I don't think you guys understand that you need to have so many sales assets. Like you can never have enough. So this is like a thank you page, a post-call booking video, testimonials, pre-call homework, and make sure that the pre-call homework you're sending to your leads after they book is actually congruent with them, right? So let's say you sell an e-com offer or Amazon FBA offer, and the person who booked a call is, let's say, a 25-year-old woman or a 30-year-old woman who works a 9 to 5 and she wants to have like the whole financial freedom thing. You want to send her a case study of one of your students that is as close to her as possible. So maybe you have like a 20-year-old or a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old woman who was also working a 9 to 5 and was able to achieve that specific result almost pretty much in the same position essentially. Imagine how much more trust is going to be built. You guys get the point. And obviously a pre-call group chat with the setter and the closer and the creator, but which is really the DM setter. And then from there, a lead can either self-book onto a sales call or gets dialed by a setter onto a sales call unless you're running a webinar or a challenge funnel. And the closing call structure is very simple, right? Once they get on the call, we actually build rapport with them, go through the discovery, go through the pains, desires, pre-handle their objections, go through the success phase of what they actually want in a program, future pace them, consequence them, and then we pitch the program. So that is the entire click to close summary of the system you need, right? Getting super deep and dialing in your ICP, USP, unique mechanism having that congruent messaging, extrapolating that into your long form YouTube videos, and then pushing all those leads into a high converting funnel. And that's how you get those paid in fulls, those high ticket deals. So again, pretty short video for you guys. Just wanted to give you the entire click to close process of how we generate 5-figure days for our info clients, our info portfolio, whatever. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a sub, obviously, drop a like, and my Instagram will be below if you guys want to shoot me a message, have any questions for me. If you're a coach, creator, you sell an info product, you're looking to scale your offer to 6 figures a month and beyond, make sure to click that first link in the bio to speak to me directly. Be a quick 10-15 minute call, just kind of audit your info business right now, see if we can help. If not, all good, of course, but see you guys in the next video.